What's going on, superhero fans, and welcome back to OneVerse. Ever since Marvel announced that Robert Downey Jr. is returning to the MCU as Dr. Doom, there has been one question on everyone's mind. Why does Dr. Doom look exactly like Tony Stark? We already know that Victor Von Doom is not Tony Stark, and Marvel has made it clear that Downey is playing a completely different character. So why bring back the same actor who played Iron Man for more than a decade? Today, we're gonna break down the biggest theories and the clues Marvel has already given us to understand this mystery. So without further ado, let's get into it. The first thing we need to remember is what happened in Avengers Endgame. Thanos had already come dangerously close to creating an entirely new reality. During his confrontation with Tony Stark, Thanos tells him that he respects him and hopes that when he is finished, people will remember Tony. Later, Thanos explains exactly what he plans to do with the Infinity Stones. He wants to destroy the existing universe and rebuild it from scratch, creating a new reality that would know nothing of what was lost, but only what it had been given. In the main 616 timeline, Tony ultimately stops him by using the Infinity Stones himself and sacrificing his life. But the multiverse gives us another possibility. What if, in another universe, Thanos actually won? We already know that the MCU contains countless realities where the biggest events happened differently. So imagine a universe where Thanos defeated the Avengers, collected all the Infinity Stones, destroyed the existing reality, and rebuilt it exactly as he promised. This could potentially give us a completely different version of Earth, where the history we know never happened the same way. And if Thanos wanted someone like Tony Stark to exist in that new reality, perhaps he didn't bring back Iron Man. Instead, that same brilliant mind could have become Victor Von Doom.
This is where the theory becomes really interesting. Tony Stark and Victor Von Doom have many similarities. Both are incredibly intelligent. Both are obsessed with technology and solving problems that seem impossible. Both believe that they can accomplish things that everyone else considers impossible. But their personalities and circumstances are completely different. Tony eventually learns to use his intelligence to protect people, while Doom believes that the only way to create a perfect world is to control it himself. So if you take a mind like Tony Stark's and place it in a completely different reality, you could end up with someone who looks exactly like Tony, but becomes Dr. Doom instead of Iron Man. And this could also connect to Doom's idea that the heroes are living stolen lives. If Doom comes from a reality where the Avengers' history developed completely differently, he could believe that the lives these heroes are currently living were never supposed to happen. Tony's story makes this especially interesting because in the 616 universe, Tony is the one who gives up his life so everyone else can survive. Steve Rogers gets to live. Thor gets to continue his journey. The other Avengers survive. Tony doesn't. So imagine a version of Tony Stark who exists in another universe and looks at the 616 timeline. From his perspective, the other heroes got to continue living while Tony Stark was the one who had to sacrifice everything. That could potentially create a very personal connection between Doom and the heroes of the main universe. Instead of simply being another multiversal villain, Doom could see himself as someone who was denied the life he was supposed to have.
There is another interesting clue involving the different Earth numbers we've seen throughout the Multiverse Saga. We have Earth 616, the main MCU universe, Earth 838 from Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, and now Earth 828 in the Fantastic Four. We still don't know exactly how these universes connect, but Marvel has deliberately established multiple realities with very different histories. Earth 838 showed us a world where the Illuminati existed and where Thanos was defeated differently. Earth 828 appears to have its own completely different history. So it's possible that the events surrounding Thanos, the Avengers, and the creation of these alternate realities could eventually connect to Doom's origin. However, there is one major problem with the theory that Doom is simply a Tony Stark variant. If Doom really comes from a universe where Thanos won, why would he care so much about what happened in the 616 universe? Why would he have a personal connection to Steve Rogers or the other Avengers? That's where we have to be careful, because Marvel could have an entirely different explanation that we haven't even considered yet. There is also the possibility that Doom is completely unrelated to Tony Stark and simply happens to have the same face. But honestly, That would be a strange decision. Marvel could have brought back Robert Downey Jr. as a completely different character without making him the face of one of the most important heroes in MCU history. Instead, they chose the actor who defined Tony Stark for more than a decade, and then they've kept Dr. Doom's face hidden behind his mask in the major marketing.
That's what makes the mystery even more interesting. Marvel has already shown that actors can play completely different characters across the multiverse. Chris Evans played Steve Rogers in the main timeline and Johnny Storm in another universe, so Marvel could have easily treated Robert Downey Jr. the same way. But if that were the entire explanation, there would be no reason to make such a big mystery out of Doom's face. The more interesting possibility is that there is an actual story connection between Tony Stark and Victor Von Doom. Maybe Doom is a Tony Stark variant who took a completely different path. Maybe the events surrounding Thanos and the Infinity Stones created the reality where Doom exists. Or maybe Marvel has something completely unexpected planned that has nothing to do with variants at all. And that's why I don't think Robert Downey Jr.'s casting as Dr. Doom is just a coincidence. The face itself is part of the mystery. Marvel knows that audiences immediately associate Downey with Tony Stark, and they clearly want us to ask why this new villain looks exactly like him. Avengers Doomsday could finally give us the answer. So guys, why does Dr. Doom look like Tony Stark? Is Victor Von Doom secretly a Tony Stark variant? Is Thanos somehow connected to Doom's existence? Or does Marvel have a completely different explanation waiting for us? Let me know your theory in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and share it, and subscribe to OneVerse for daily Marvel leaks, theories, updates, and breakdowns. We've also set a target of reaching 30,000 subscribers before Avengers Doomsday hits theaters. So if you enjoy our content, your simple support can help us reach that goal and genuinely motivates us to keep making more videos every day. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next upload.